Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today will be an advanced level British English listening exercise. This isn't easy, so this is definitely going to be testing your listening abilities. If you are new here, firstly, welcome. My name is Dylan and I will be your English teacher for the day. Okay, so how does it work? Right. Firstly, you will see an image followed by a question. There will then be a short dialogue. Listen to that and try to answer the question. We will then replay the clip with English subtitles and we'll go through the answer together to see if you got it right. Alright guys, and it is that simple, so good luck. I believe in you, of course, and I'll see you at the first question. Okay, the first question, and we're starting on a pleasant note. We have a woman here who is talking to her colleague all about her exciting plans to go travelling. If you didn't know, a colleague is basically just someone that you work with. Anyway, this woman is planning to travel all around Europe. It's all very exciting, but the question is, which route does she plan on taking?
Hi Bella, you look very happy today. That would be because I am starting my travels around Europe next week. I am so excited. Oh yes, I completely forgot. Whereabouts are you going again? So first I am getting the ferry to France, where I will be spending 4 days in Paris. I was then planning on going to Germany, however my flights got cancelled, so I had to rebook some new ones which stop off at Turkey. So you are visiting Turkey then? I would love to, however, unfortunately it is just a connecting flight as I will be meeting my Italian friend in Greece. We plan on spending a couple of days in Athens, and then she will take me to visit her hometown. How exciting! I hear Athens is lovely. We will then head for Spain, however, not without a quick stop off in Berlin to visit the Brandenburg Gate. That all sounds so nice. I am extremely jealous. So how long are you gone for in total? 6 weeks, then it's back to the office. Remember to take lots of photos. Hi Bella, you look very happy today. That would be because I am starting my travels around Europe next week. I am so excited. Oh yes, I completely forgot. Whereabouts are you going again? So first I am getting the ferry to France, where I will be spending 4 days in Paris. I was then planning on going to Germany, however my flights got cancelled, so I had to rebook some new ones which stop off at Turkey. So you are visiting Turkey then? I would love to, however, unfortunately it is just a connecting flight as I will be meeting my Italian friend in Greece. We plan on spending a couple of days in Athens, and then she will take me to visit her hometown. How exciting! I hear Athens is lovely. We will then head for Spain, however, not without a quick stop off in Berlin to visit the Brandenburg Gate. That all sounds so nice. I am extremely jealous. So how long are you gone for in total? 6 weeks, then it's back to the office. Remember to take lots of photos.
Okay, second question, and we are at the flower shop. A man is purchasing a bouquet of flowers for his wife's birthday. That is one lucky woman right there. Anyway, if you didn't know, a bouquet is basically just a collection of flowers that have been attractively arranged together. Right, so the question is, what combination of flowers does the man end up purchasing?
Hi there, welcome to Flo's Florist. How can I help you today, sir?
Hi Flo, I am here to purchase some flowers for my wife's birthday.
Oh, my name isn't actually Flo, that is the owner. Regardless, I would of course be more than happy to help. What sort of flowers does she like?
My apologies. Honestly, I am not too sure what she likes. My sister-in-law normally helps with this sort of stuff, but unfortunately she is away on holiday. I would therefore be interested in hearing your recommendations.
Well, for a birthday, sir, roses are always popular. Although with that being said, our blue delphiniums have recently come into bloom, and they are simply breathtaking. Perhaps I could recommend a bundle.
What sort of bundle were you thinking? Do you have any offers on at the moment?
So you cannot actually purchase the flowers individually, they are sold in sets of 3. We do have an offer on at the moment, where if you purchase 2 sets of roses, you will receive a set of delphiniums for free.
That sounds great, so perhaps I should purchase 2 sets of roses then?
Whilst 3 sets would be a sufficient number of flowers, we advise against purchasing an even number of roses for a happy occasion. It is considered bad luck.
I see. Am I able to purchase 2 sets of the delphiniums and get a set of roses for free?
Unfortunately, sir, the deal does not work that way around. However, if you were to purchase 3 sets of the roses, I would be happy to throw in 2 sets of the delphiniums free of charge.
Thank you. I really appreciate your generosity. However, I do have a question regarding the delphiniums. What is the maintenance like? My wife and I are planning a trip soon, and I would hate for such a beautiful flower to go to waste.
Honestly, they are relatively high maintenance, sir, as they require watering 2 times a day.
I see. Well, in that case, I will take 3 sets of roses and a single set of delphiniums. Thank you again for your assistance.
No problem, sir. Enjoy your trip. Hi there, welcome to Flo's Florist. How can I help you today, sir?
Hi Flo, I am here to purchase some flowers for my wife's birthday.
Oh, my name isn't actually Flo, that is the owner. Regardless, I would of course be more than happy to help. What sort of flowers does she like?
My apologies. Honestly, I am not too sure what she likes. My sister-in-law normally helps with this sort of stuff, but unfortunately she is away on holiday. I would therefore be interested in hearing your recommendations.
Well, for a birthday, sir, roses are always popular. Although with that being said, our blue delphiniums have recently come into bloom, and they are simply breathtaking. Perhaps I could recommend a bundle.
What sort of bundle were you thinking? Do you have any offers on at the moment?
So you cannot actually purchase the flowers individually, they are sold in sets of 3. We do have an offer on at the moment, where if you purchase 2 sets of roses, you will receive a set of delphiniums for free.
That sounds great, so perhaps I should purchase 2 sets of roses then?
Whilst 3 sets would be a sufficient number of flowers, we advise against purchasing an even number of roses for a happy occasion. It is considered bad luck.
I see. Am I able to purchase 2 sets of the delphiniums and get a set of roses for free?
Unfortunately, sir, the deal does not work that way around. However, if you were to purchase 3 sets of the roses, I would be happy to throw in 2 sets of the delphiniums free of charge.
Thank you. I really appreciate your generosity. However, I do have a question regarding the delphiniums. What is the maintenance like? My wife and I are planning a trip soon, and I would hate for such a beautiful flower to go to waste.
Honestly, they are relatively high maintenance, sir, as they require watering 2 times a day.
I see. Well, in that case, I will take 3 sets of roses and a single set of delphiniums. Thank you again for your assistance.
No problem, sir. Enjoy your trip.
Alright, is the third question, and we're at a phone shop where a man is looking to purchase himself some new technology. So he's having a conversation with the lovely worker there. She is making some recommendations based on the customer's needs, and eventually they come to a conclusion. So the question is, you know what I'm going to say. What combination does the man end up purchasing?
Excuse me, can I get some advice, please?
Of course you can. How can I help today, sir?
I think I'm due for an upgrade on my phone, but I'm not too sure what to go for.
Are there any particular features that you would be looking for in a new device?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I actually really like this phone, so I am slightly reluctant to change. With that being said, I have recently started running after work, so ideally I would be looking for something that can monitor my heart rate whilst I am exercising.
I see. Well, a lot of the new smartphones have built-in trackers that are capable of doing that. We do have a few bundle deals on at the moment, so before we progress any further, was there anything else you were looking for?
I was actually looking online for either a laptop or a tablet, basically something I can work on during my commute to the office.
Well, I'm sure we could tailor the bundle to suit your needs. Have you looked into getting a smartwatch before? They tend to be very popular amongst runners such as yourself.
I hadn't actually thought about that. Are they expensive?
Not particularly, however, you cannot actually purchase them by themselves. You have to get them with a suitable accompanying device, which in this case, would be either a phone or a tablet.
I see. So I am unable to purchase a smartwatch with a laptop?
Unfortunately not, however, if you did want to add a phone to that bundle, then we could do the watch for half price. It is part of a new promotion that we have just started running.
Can I still qualify for that promotion if I swap a tablet in for the phone? I could give it to my son as a Christmas present.
Not normally, sir, but on this occasion I would be happy to make an exception.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I just don't think I need a new phone if the watch is able to track my running. Thanks again for your help. Excuse me, can I get some advice, please?
Of course you can. How can I help today, sir?
I think I'm due for an upgrade on my phone, but I'm not too sure what to go for.
Are there any particular features that you would be looking for in a new device?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I actually really like this phone, so I am slightly reluctant to change. With that being said, I have recently started running after work, so ideally I would be looking for something that can monitor my heart rate whilst I am exercising.
I see. Well, a lot of the new smartphones have built-in trackers that are capable of doing that. We do have a few bundle deals on at the moment, so before we progress any further, was there anything else you were looking for?
I was actually looking online for either a laptop or a tablet, basically something I can work on during my commute to the office.
Well, I'm sure we could tailor the bundle to suit your needs. Have you looked into getting a smartwatch before? They tend to be very popular amongst runners such as yourself.
I hadn't actually thought about that. Are they expensive?
Not particularly, however, you cannot actually purchase them by themselves. You have to get them with a suitable accompanying device, which in this case, would be either a phone or a tablet.
I see. So I am unable to purchase a smartwatch with a laptop?
Unfortunately not, however, if you did want to add a phone to that bundle, then we could do the watch for half price. It is part of a new promotion that we have just started running.
Can I still qualify for that promotion if I swap a tablet in for the phone? I could give it to my son as a Christmas present.
Not normally, sir, but on this occasion I would be happy to make an exception.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I just don't think I need a new phone if the watch is able to track my running. Thanks again for your help.
Question number 4, and a man is at a health club and he's looking to purchase a membership. If you didn't know, a health club is basically like a fancy gym. It contains either a swimming pool or a spa, or in most cases it will contain both. Anyway, this man, he's looking to get in shape, he's looking to build some muscle or lose some weight or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, he is talking to the employee there about the different memberships which he could purchase. So the question is, which membership does he end up purchasing?
Hello, sir, and welcome to BE Health Club. How can I help you today?
Hello. I am interested in joining the club, so would like to inquire about the packages you offer.
Certainly. So the health club consists of 2 different areas, the gym and the pool. We are open 7 days a week, from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. However, please be aware that on Sundays, we shut early at 9:30 p.m. We offer a variety of packages based on the needs of our members. Is there anything in particular you are looking to use?
I was mainly looking to work out at the gym during my lunch break, but I must admit, I haven't been swimming for years. Can you tell me a bit more about the different packages, please?
Certainly. Firstly, we have our full package, which gives you access to both the gym and pool, from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. This costs £50 per month and is popular amongst our new joiners. Secondly, we have our leisure package, which gives access to the pool only. This allows you to swim between 5 and 11 a.m., and in the evening, between 6 and 11 p.m.
That sounds nice, however, I would need a package which involves the gym.
Of course, sir. In that case, I would recommend one of our other two packages. We have a gym-only membership, which, as the name suggests, will give you access to the gym only. This is valid between 12 and 4 p.m. every day.
That would probably be best for me, as it would allow me to go during my lunch break.
And finally, we have our early bird membership, which provides full access to both the gym and pool every morning between 5 and 9 a.m.
I see. And what is the price difference between the gym only and the early bird membership, please?
The gym only costs £25 a month, whilst the early bird is £35 a month.
I think the gym only would probably be better suited to my needs, however, I do really miss the feeling of swimming. Let's go for the early bird membership.
Excellent choice, sir. Hello, sir, and welcome to BE Health Club. How can I help you today?
Hello. I am interested in joining the club, so would like to inquire about the packages you offer.
Certainly. So the health club consists of two different areas, the gym and the pool. We are open 7 days a week, from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. However, please be aware that on Sundays, we shut early at 9:30 p.m. We offer a variety of packages based on the needs of our members. Is there anything in particular you are looking to use?
I was mainly looking to work out at the gym during my lunch break, but I must admit, I haven't been swimming for years. Can you tell me a bit more about the different packages, please?
Certainly. Firstly, we have our full package, which gives you access to both the gym and pool, from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. This costs £50 per month, and is popular amongst our new joiners. Secondly, we have our leisure package, which gives access to the pool only. This allows you to swim between 5 and 11 a.m., and in the evening, between 6 and 11 p.m.
That sounds nice, however, I would need a package which involves the gym.
Of course, sir. In that case, I would recommend one of our other two packages. We have a gym-only membership, which, as the name suggests, will give you access to the gym only. This is valid between 12 and 4 p.m. every day.
That would probably be best for me, as it would allow me to go during my lunch break.
And finally, we have our early bird membership, which provides full access to both the gym and pool every morning between 5 and 9 a.m.
I see. And what is the price difference between the gym only and the early bird membership, please?
The gym only costs £25 a month, whilst the early bird is £35 a month.
I think the gym only would probably be better suited to my needs, however, I do really miss the feeling of swimming. Let's go for the early bird membership.
Excellent choice, sir.
Question 5, and we have a man who is complaining to his co-worker. He's basically complaining about how tired he is, or how knackered he is. Knackered is just a British way of saying tired. You may or may not have heard that before. Anyway, the reason why he's so tired, it was his son's 10th birthday over the weekend, and as you can imagine, they went on a nice day out. They went to lots of different places and just made a memorable birthday. So, the question is, in which order did this man visit these places?
Hi Charlie, how's it going?
Not too bad, thanks, mate. Although I am still slightly knackered from the weekend.
I can't relate, I did nothing this weekend. But what did you get up to that was so tiring?
It was my youngest son's 10th birthday on Saturday, so it was a long day for us.
Oh yes, I remember you mentioning that. What did you end up doing for it?
Well, he is obsessed with dinosaurs at the moment, so he insisted we started the day at the museum. However, we ended up getting so caught up in the excitement that we forgot to eat breakfast. So, before we entered the museum, we went to the bakery for a quick bite to eat.
That sounds nice. Which one did you go to?
Well, we wanted to go to the new one with the bread in the window, however we were right next to the coffee shop, so we ended up going to the one in there instead.
That makes sense, the coffee shop bakery actually has a great selection. Did you end up going to the new bakery at all then?
We went right after the museum for a small birthday muffin, which he of course loved. It was definitely worth the walk.
Yes, I can't wait to try that place. So did you go home after that?
We finished the day at the theater, where we watched a rendition of Jurassic Park. It was very interesting.
Yes, that definitely sounds interesting. I am not surprised you are so tired.
Indeed. Well, hopefully next year will be a bit more relaxed.
Hi Charlie, how's it going?
Not too bad, thanks mate. Although I am still slightly knackered from the weekend.
I can't relate, I did nothing this weekend. But what did you get up to that was so tiring?
It was my youngest son's 10th birthday on Saturday, so it was a long day for us.
Oh yes, I remember you mentioning that. What did you end up doing for it?
Well, he is obsessed with dinosaurs at the moment, so he insisted we started the day at the museum. However, we ended up getting so caught up in the excitement that we forgot to eat breakfast. So, before we entered the museum, we went to the bakery for a quick bite to eat.
That sounds nice. Which one did you go to?
Well, we wanted to go to the new one with the bread in the window, however we were right next to the coffee shop, so we ended up going to the one in there instead.
That makes sense, the coffee shop bakery actually has a great selection. Did you end up going to the new bakery at all then?
We went right after the museum for a small birthday muffin, which he of course loved. It was definitely worth the walk.
Yes, I can't wait to try that place. So did you go home after that?
We finished the day at the theater, where we watched a rendition of Jurassic Park. It was very interesting.
Yes, that definitely sounds interesting. I am not surprised you are so tired.
Indeed. Well, hopefully next year will be a bit more relaxed.
Okay, we're at the 6th question, which means we are halfway through the exercise. I hope it's going well. I hope you're enjoying it. Right, for this question, we have a woman who has lost her phone. It is an absolute nightmare situation. However, to be fair to her, she is staying very calm and very composed. She's talking to someone and she's trying to figure out where her phone could be. So the question is, where is the first place that she decides to go and look for her phone?
Uh-oh.
What is it?
I can't find my phone anywhere in my purse. Do you have it?
Sorry, I don't even have mine because I ended up leaving it in the car. Did you do the same thing?
I definitely had it earlier, because I remember I used it to pay when we purchased Charlie's present.
What about afterwards when we went to the cinema?
I remember using the torch on it to find our seats. Did I have it when we went to the park? Maybe it could have fallen out of my pocket when we sat down to eat our picnic.
I was thinking that, however I remember you used it to take a photo of that cute duck, and that was after we had eaten.
Oh yeah. Then it must be at the pool.
You probably ended up leaving it in the locker like last time. Let's go to Lost and Found, hopefully we can find it there.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
I can't find my phone anywhere in my purse. Do you have it?
Sorry, I don't even have mine because I ended up leaving it in the car. Did you do the same thing?
I definitely had it earlier, because I remember I used it to pay when we purchased Charlie's present.
What about afterwards when we went to the cinema?
I remember using the torch on it to find our seats. Did I have it when we went to the park? Maybe it could have fallen out of my pocket when we sat down to eat our picnic.
I was thinking that, however I remember you used it to take a photo of that cute duck, and that was after we had eaten.
Oh yeah. Then it must be at the pool.
You probably ended up leaving it in the locker like last time. Let's go to Lost and Found, hopefully we can find it there.
Number 7, and guess what? We have a famous musician who is here to perform. I know, her agent is on the phone to her company now, and she's basically telling the company their pop star's list of demands. You know, these celebrity types, they have a very unique way of living. Anyway, your question is, what does the company need to prepare for the pop star's arrival?
Hello, this is Simon from BE Entertainment. How can I help?
Hi Simon, this is Larissa. I am just calling to check that you are ready for the arrival of my client at 7 p.m.
Hi Larissa. Yes, we are, don't worry.
Good. And of course, my client has some specific needs before she is able to arrive to the venue.
And we will do our absolute best to accommodate those needs. What exactly does she require?
To begin with, she has a sore throat from last night's performance, so she will need a freshly brewed pot of green tea waiting for her on our arrival.
Okay, that won't be a problem. Will she require any other beverages?
Water, of course. Also, she would like some apple juice if possible.
Unfortunately, we only have orange juice. Would you like me to include it?
No thanks, she only likes apple juice. She will also require a new microphone, preferably one that matches the color of her hair.
So a black microphone?
She dyed her hair pink last week, which brings me on to my next request. My client's stylist fell ill last weekend, so unfortunately is unable to join us. It is therefore imperative that you are able to provide us with a skilled hairdresser upon our arrival.
A hairdresser?
Yes. Will that be a problem?
No problem, just making sure I heard correctly. Is there anything else? We do have a games console nearby if she is interested.
She says only if the controller matches her hair, so she can use it for an Instagram photo.
I see. I will have a look to see if we have something suitable for her. Hello, this is Simon from BE Entertainment. How can I help?
Hi Simon, this is Larissa. I am just calling to check that you are ready for the arrival of my client at 7 p.m.
Hi Larissa. Yes, we are, don't worry.
Good. And of course, my client has some specific needs before she is able to arrive to the venue.
And we will do our absolute best to accommodate those needs. What exactly does she require?
To begin with, she has a sore throat from last night's performance, so she will need a freshly brewed pot of green tea waiting for her on our arrival.
Okay, that won't be a problem. Will she require any other beverages?
Water, of course. Also, she would like some apple juice if possible.
Unfortunately, we only have orange juice. Would you like me to include it?
No thanks, she only likes apple juice. She will also require a new microphone, preferably one that matches the color of her hair.
So a black microphone?
She dyed her hair pink last week, which brings me on to my next request. My client's stylist fell ill last weekend, so unfortunately is unable to join us. It is therefore imperative that you are able to provide us with a skilled hairdresser upon our arrival.
A hairdresser?
Yes. Will that be a problem?
No problem, just making sure I heard correctly. Is there anything else? We do have a games console nearby if she is interested.
She says only if the controller matches her hair, so she can use it for an Instagram photo.
I see. I will have a look to see if we have something suitable for her.
Question number 8. And we have a man and a woman who are dining out at a nice restaurant. Dining out is just a way of saying that you're eating something away from home, normally at a restaurant or a cafe. So, this woman has recently made some dietary changes that may affect the type of food that she orders. So, the question is, what does the woman end up ordering?
I am so hungry today, but I never know what to order at this place.
Don't you normally go for the pizza combo meal?
I do, but I have recently decided to try a vegetarian diet. So as you can probably imagine, that kind of restricts the amount of options I have at somewhere like this.
That sounds about right. So what are you thinking?
I will likely have to get something involving a salad, although it isn't really what I am craving.
Well, there are other vegetarian options here other than a salad. You could of course get chips or ice cream, and I believe they recently launched a new vegetarian hot dog that you could try.
Of course. I forgot about that. I think I will try a hot dog meal.
So will you get it with chips or salad?
Despite the fact I do really enjoy the chips here, I probably should get the salad. Although, that being said, if I went for water instead of an ice cream, then perhaps I can justify the chips. Right?
Sure.
That's what I like to hear. Let's order. I am so hungry today. But I never know what to order at this place.
Don't you normally go for the pizza combo meal?
I do, but I have recently decided to try a vegetarian diet. So as you can probably imagine, that kind of restricts the amount of options I have at somewhere like this.
That sounds about right. So what are you thinking?
I will likely have to get something involving a salad, although it isn't really what I am craving.
Well, there are other vegetarian options here other than a salad. You could of course get chips or ice cream, and I believe they recently launched a new vegetarian hot dog that you could try.
Of course. I forgot about that. I think I will try a hot dog meal.
So will you get it with chips or salad?
Despite the fact I do really enjoy the chips here, I probably should get the salad. Although, that being said, if I went for water instead of an ice cream, then perhaps I can justify the chips. Right?
Sure.
That's what I like to hear. Let's order.
Welcome to the 9th question, where we have a man on the phone to the barbers trying to book himself a haircut. A barber's is just a hairdresser's for men. Anyway, this barber is particularly good, which means he's very popular, which is a good thing, of course, but it does mean that getting a reservation can be a little bit tricky. So, I want you to look at the barber's availability for next week and work out which one is showing the correct information.
Hello, this is Ben's Barbers. How can I help?
Hello, I would like to make a reservation, please. What is your availability next week?
Next week I have limited availability, however I can try to squeeze you in. When were you thinking?
I work in the mornings, so evenings tend to be better for me.
Just so you are aware, we shut on weekdays at 6 p.m. and therefore the last appointments we can offer are at 5:15 p.m.
I see. Well, what about Tuesday afternoon?
Unfortunately next week we cannot do Tuesday or Thursday afternoon, as everybody is fully booked up. Any other afternoon that week is fine.
What about Saturday afternoon?
We are shut on weekends, sir.
That is a shame. I tend to be a lot more flexible on weekends.
We do have some lunchtime appointments available later in the week. We can offer 11:45 or 1:30 on Thursday, or 1 p.m. on Friday.
That is tempting. However, I am in charge of lunchtime meetings, so unfortunately I never get that time off.
That is a shame, sir. As mentioned, I can offer you Monday, Wednesday, or Friday afternoon, however, unless you can do mornings, that is it for next week.
I have a big meeting on Wednesday and my hair grows extremely fast, so I was hoping to get it done as close to that day as possible.
Can you definitely not do mornings? I could offer you Tuesday or Wednesday morning, both at 9 a.m. However, that is all the morning availability we have for next week.
Okay, give me a second. Any chance you could do 9:15 on Tuesday morning?
Yes, that works well for me. Thanks for calling and I will see you on Tuesday. Hello, this is Ben's Barbers. How can I help?
Hello, I would like to make a reservation, please. What is your availability next week?
Next week I have limited availability, however I can try to squeeze you in. When were you thinking?
I work in the mornings, so evenings tend to be better for me.
Just so you are aware, we shut on weekdays at 6 p.m. and therefore the last appointments we can offer are at 5:15 p.m.
I see. Well, what about Tuesday afternoon?
Unfortunately next week we cannot do Tuesday or Thursday afternoon, as everybody is fully booked up. Any other afternoon that week is fine.
What about Saturday afternoon?
We are shut on weekends, sir.
That is a shame. I tend to be a lot more flexible on weekends.
We do have some lunchtime appointments available later in the week. We can offer 11:45 or 1:30 on Thursday, or 1 p.m. on Friday.
That is tempting, however I am in charge of lunchtime meetings, so unfortunately I never get that time off.
That is a shame, sir. As mentioned, I can offer you Monday, Wednesday, or Friday afternoon, however, unless you can do mornings, that is it for next week.
I have a big meeting on Wednesday and my hair grows extremely fast, so I was hoping to get it done as close to that day as possible.
Can you definitely not do mornings? I could offer you Tuesday or Wednesday morning, both at 9 a.m. However, that is all the morning availability we have for next week.
Okay, give me a second. Any chance you could do 9:15 on Tuesday morning?
Yes, that works well for me. Thanks for calling, and I will see you on Tuesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the 10th question and things are starting to get a little bit romantic. Yes, we have a charming man and an elegant woman, and they happen to be on a date together. They're looking into each other's eyes, they're falling in love, they're talking about all this wonderful stuff, and then eventually they get onto the topic of what pets they own. So, the question is, between them, the man's pets, the woman's pets, what pets do they own between them?
Oh, Sophie, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you tonight.
Yeah, you too. Anyway, I must go now. I have to feed my cat.
You have a cat too? That's amazing, we have so much in common. What type of cat is it?
Yeah, amazing. Well, I have two actually, an orange one and a black one.
I love orange cats. I used to have 3, but 2 of them ran away for some reason.
I wonder why.
It's okay, that's what led to me getting my 2 birds, Bluey and Greenie. I call them that because it matches the color of their fur.
How imaginative.
I know. Do you have any birds?
No, I don't think my dog would appreciate that. Anyway, I should probably get going.
Snakes?
Excuse me.
Snakes. Do you have any snakes?
No. That is a rather weird question.
Snakes are great. I have 2, and I am even considering getting 2 more. Maybe you would be interested in coming round at some point to meet them. They are really friendly, especially to the birds.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Oh, Sophie, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you tonight.
Yeah, you too. Anyway, I must go now. I have to feed my cat.
You have a cat too? That's amazing, we have so much in common. What type of cat is it?
Yeah, amazing. Well, I have 2 actually, an orange one and a black one.
I love orange cats. I used to have 3, but 2 of them ran away for some reason.
I wonder why.
It's okay. That's what led to me getting my 2 birds, Bluey and Greenie. I call them that because it matches the color of their fur.
How imaginative.
I know. Do you have any birds?
No, I don't think my dog would appreciate that. Anyway, I should probably get going.
Snakes?
Excuse me.
Snakes. Do you have any snakes?
No. That is a rather weird question.
Snakes are great. I have 2, and I am even considering getting 2 more. Maybe you would be interested in coming round at some point to meet them. They are really friendly, especially to the birds.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay, for this question we have a man called Henry. If you know, you know. Anyway, right, this man Henry is talking to his colleague all about his commute to work at his job in London. If you've ever been to the UK, you will know just how awful our public transport is. It is a complete joke. Anyway, the question is, how did Henry arrive to work today?
Late again, Henry?
If you knew my commute, you wouldn't blame me.
Yes, I can't believe that you have to travel for so long every day. So have you been affected by the train strikes lately?
Very much so. Normally, I would just cycle from my house to Oxford Station and get the train to London from there. However, I have now had to change my route, as the trains are no longer running from Oxford to London.
Nightmare. So how have you been getting to work then?
Well, I have been cycling from my house to Reading Station and getting the train from there instead. When I arrive in London, I normally just leave my bike at the station and then get a cab to the office.
What a faff. So you have to do that every day?
Pretty much, although today my bike got a puncture as I was leaving my house, so I ended up having to get a cab to the station. It's been a nightmare morning.
I'm sorry to hear that. I am sure a full day of work at the office will cheer you up. Late again, Henry?
If you knew my commute, you wouldn't blame me.
Yes, I can't believe that you have to travel for so long every day. So have you been affected by the train strikes lately?
Very much so. Normally, I would just cycle from my house to Oxford Station and get the train to London from there. However, I have now had to change my route, as the trains are no longer running from Oxford to London.
Nightmare. So how have you been getting to work then?
Well, I have been cycling from my house to Reading Station and getting the train from there instead. When I arrive in London, I normally just leave my bike at the station and then get a cab to the office.
What a faff. So you have to do that every day?
Pretty much, although today my bike got a puncture as I was leaving my house, so I ended up having to get a cab to the station. It's been a nightmare morning.
I'm sorry to hear that. I am sure a full day of work at the office will cheer you up.
Guys, welcome to your final question. It's very sad, I know. Anyway, as you guys are preparing to end your lesson, we have someone here who's doing some back to school shopping for their children. Yes, their kids haven't even started their lessons yet. Back to school basically means, it's a term that's been popularized by adverts here, and it means it's just the start of a school term. So back to school essentials, back to school shopping would include like backpacks, notebooks, and school uniforms. Anyway, my final question is, we have a woman here who is in a clothes shop and she is doing some back to school shopping for her children. What does she end up purchasing?
Hello and welcome to our store. Please let me know if you require any assistance.
Hi there. I am looking for some back-to-school stuff for the kids.
We can definitely help with that. Is there anything in particular you needed? I'm not sure if you saw the sign outside, but we are currently having a buy one get one free deal on all clothing.
Really? I have 2 kids, so that is perfect for me. Let's start with shoes. I will have 2 pairs of the blue ones please, and 2 blue t-shirts to match.
The shoes are fine, but unfortunately we only have 1 blue t-shirt left. However, we do have a red one left if you are interested.
Potentially, do you have a matching tie for the red one? That is the most important thing.
Yes, we have matching ties for both t-shirts. Should I add these 4 items to your basket?
Yes, please.
Great stuff. Is there anything else you would like today?
No, thank you. This was all I needed.
Amazing. Thank you for shopping with us and have a great day. Hello and welcome to our store. Please let me know if you require any assistance.
Hi there. I am looking for some back-to-school stuff for the kids.
We can definitely help with that. Is there anything in particular you needed? I'm not sure if you saw the sign outside, but we are currently having a buy one get one free deal on all clothing.
Really? I have 2 kids, so that is perfect for me. Let's start with shoes. I will have 2 pairs of the blue ones please, and 2 blue t-shirts to match.
The shoes are fine, but unfortunately we only have 1 blue t-shirt left. However, we do have a red one left if you are interested.
Potentially, do you have a matching tie for the red one? That is the most important thing.
Yes, we have matching ties for both t-shirts. Should I add these 4 items to your basket?
Yes, please.
Great stuff. Is there anything else you would like today?
No, thank you. This was all I needed.
Amazing. Thank you for shopping with us and have a great day.
Alright, well done. If you've made it this far, it means that you have successfully completed today's exercise. So give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back, whatever. Let me know how you did in the comments below. Right then, I need to speak to you guys on a serious note here. We've hit 10,000 subscribers. That is just mental. Like, that is actually crazy. I can't really believe it. So from the bottom of my heart, honestly, I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much to anyone that's subscribed, watched the videos, left a comment, anything like that. Honestly, I feel like we're building a really nice tight-knit community here. Basically just people from all around the world that are looking to learn some British English. I see you guys in the comments, there's so much positivity, you know, people saying which countries they're from, why they're learning English, and also wishing the other learners good luck. It's just really nice to see, and honestly, it's crazy. We're just uniting all these people from around the world, we're all coming together to learn some British English, and it's just lovely to see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Next video will be coming soon. I'm sorry there was a bit of delay on this one. It took a long time to make. Anyway, I will leave you to it now. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It makes a big difference. As always, comment which country you are learning from. Make some friends in the comments, why not? Alright guys, thank you again for watching, and until next time, cheers.